2, 1.
Alright, I'm going to begin my in cap. I'm going to start with my seat belt. My seat belt is not turned, ripped, or damaged. Latches, unlatches, latches again, properly mounted and secure. Up on my left side on the bottom, I have my fire extinguisher. It should be properly mounted to the floor with the present ABC BC10 type, fully charged. Up at the top, I have my 7 fuses for each electrical component in my vehicle. Behind my seat, I have 3 red reflector triangles. They're properly mounted and secured to the floor, and they're fully functional. From there, sir, I'm gonna begin my safety start. For that, I'm gonna make sure my brakes are applied. I'm gonna make sure I'm in neutral. I'm gonna turn the key on. Let the computer talk to the engine. Now I'm gonna turn the truck on. When I turn the truck on, my ABS light comes on, and it should go off after 90 seconds. If it doesn't go off after 90 seconds, I have a problem with my ABS system. From there, I'm gonna talk about my gauges. I have my water temperature gauge. It should be in a range between 170 and 210. Right now, it's reading at about 170. That means it's working properly. Now, I am going to talk about my oil gauge. My oil gauge should be in a range between 20 to 60. Right now, it's reading at about 30. That means that it's working properly. From there, I'm gonna talk about my air gauges. I have my primary gauge and my secondary gauge. My governor cuts in at 90 and it cuts out at 125. If it goes to 150, my safety release valve will release the extra air. From gauges, I am gonna go to voltmeter. For the Volvo, it's the second bottom right here. You press on it until you can see the voltmeters. Alright, they should be in a range between 12 to 14. Right now it's reading at about 13.9. That means that it's working properly. From there, I am going to go to my lights. My first click, it's my marker lights. Second click is my low beams at 250 feet. Third click is my high beams at 500 feet. I have a left turn signal working properly. I have a right turn signal working properly. I have 4-way flashers working properly. From there, sir, from lights, I am going to go to my horns. I have two horns. I have a city horn or electrical horn working properly. I have a highway horn or air horn working properly. From horns, I am going to go to heater and defroster. I am going to turn the air all the way up, make sure it's blowing air on the vent, make sure it's blowing air on the bottom, switch it to the defroster, make sure it's blowing air against the windshield, very important. From heater and defroster, I am going to talk about my windshield. I have a rubber seal all around. It should be not leaking, cracked, bent, or damaged. Up on the right top corner, I have 2 insurance stickers. One's for the tractor, one for the trailer. It should be renewed every 6 months, every year, I'm sorry. Over here I have my DOT sticker. It should be renewed every 6 months. DOT stands for Department of Transportation. From there, sir, I'm gonna talk about my cracks. If I have a crack more than a 1/4 inch, my vehicle is out of service. If I have 2 or more cracks, my vehicle is out of service. If I have a crack less than a 1/4 inch, my vehicle is it's okay to be operated. I'm gonna talk about my wipers. My wipers, they should have full tension against the windshield. I'm gonna talk about my windshield fluid. My windshield fluid, I should have enough windshield fluid for me to operate the vehicle. If I don't have any windshield fluid, my vehicle is out of service. From there, I am going to talk about my mirrors. My mirrors are properly mounted and secured. More importantly, adjusted to me, the driver. Now, sir, I am going to begin my brake test. I am going to be testing my parking brakes, Johnson bar, and combination brake. Before I do that, I am going to explain to you how my brakes work. When I release both brakes and I put my foot on the brake pedal, my air goes to the brake, to the air hoses. My air hoses go to the brake chamber. Brake chamber goes to the push rod slack adjuster. Then the S-cam opens up causing friction between brake shoe and brake drum. That's how my brakes work. Now I'm gonna perform them. First brake I'm gonna be testing is my parking brake test. For that, I am going to put my foot on the brake, put it in drive. I am going to release my trailer brake because I'm going to test my tractor brake. Take my foot off the brake, give it a little bit of gas to feel the resistance. There's my resistance. Foot back on the brake, apply the brakes, neutral, hand on the steering wheel, foot off the clutch. In conclusion, my parking brake is working properly because my truck stood in place. Now I am going to be testing my trailer brake. For that, I am gonna put my foot on the brake, put it in drive. Release my parking brake to test my trailer brake. Take my foot off the brake and give it gas slowly, feel the resistance. There's my resistance. Foot back on the brake, back to safety. Apply my brakes, put myself into neutral. In conclusion, sir, my trailer brake is working properly. Now I'm gonna be testing my Johnson bar. Foot on the brake, put myself into drive, release tractor, release trailer brake, hold the Johnson bar all the way down, take my foot off the brake, give it a little bit of gas, feel the resistance. There's my resistance. Foot back on the brake, release the Johnson bar, apply the brakes, neutral. In conclusion, sir, my Johnson bar is working properly because my truck stood in a straight line, didn't move. Now I'm gonna test my combination brake. For that, I am gonna pull forward 10 feet at 5 miles per hour. When I step on the brake, I need to open my palms up and close them back down. That's the only way to know if my vehicle moves left or right. Put myself into drive, release tractor, release trailer brake. Now I'm pulling forward 10 feet at 5 miles per hour. And my vehicle should stop in a straight line. I'm gonna open my palms, foot on the brake, close them back down, back to safety, apply my brakes, pull myself into neutral. In conclusion, sir, my truck stopped in a straight line, and if it did not stop in a straight line, I will have one of 6 problems: uneven ground, lower tires on my steering tires, brakes problem, suspension problem, steering problem, or my cargo has shifted in the back. Now, sir, I am going to do my leak down. For that, I am going to build up my RPMs so that I can reach my full air pressure, which is 125 psi. I already heard the governor cut off. That means I'm at my full air pressure. The next thing I'm going to do, make sure I'm in neutral, brakes apply. I'm gonna turn the vehicle off, and I'm going to take the key in my pocket, and I'm going to get off to chock my wheels. Chocking the wheels, I need to chock one wheel both sides. Make sure there is no gap between the chock and the tire. If you have any space between the chock and the tire, your vehicle is gonna roll forward or backwards, and that can cause you to fail. Alright, I go back in the vehicle, put my seatbelt on, take the key out of my pocket. Now I'm gonna turn the key on, only to ignition, so I can read the gauges. You can click close over here. Now, sir, I am going to release both tractor, let the air stabilize. Release my trailer, let the air stabilize. Sir, my air has stabilized at 100. I am going to put my foot on the brake pedal for 1 minute, and I shouldn't lose more than 4 psi in a combination vehicle and more than 3 psi in a straight truck. I'm holding my brake. Alright, pretending a minute goes by already, I am going to take my foot off the brake. Sir, my air is now reading at about 90 psi. That indicates that I lose more than 4 psi in a combination vehicle and more than 3 psi in a straight truck. I have an air leak. Now, sir, I am going to do my fan down one. For my fan down one, I'm going to fan down my brake pedal between 70 to 60 psi. My air warning light should come out, indicating that it's working properly. There is my air warning light, sir. It came out between 70 to 60. That means that it's working properly. Now I'm going to do my fan down 2. For my fan down 2, between 45 and 20, my trailer brakes should pop out to prevent the jackknife. And between 40 to 20, my tractor brake should pop out. There's my trailer brake, sir. There's my tractor brake, sir. Both brakes popped out in range, indicating that they are working properly. Now I'm gonna go back into safety. Even though my brakes came out, I'm gonna make sure they're out. Neutral, and I'm gonna turn the key off, and that concludes my in cap for the automatic. All right.